Arlene is here with us today from Glenhaven Greenhouse. And, you know, it's been a wacky year for growing your garden. Some things went, some things didn't do so well. We all know, I know the weather's been crazy, but we have another chance to do our spring gardens, kind of.
You do. You can do spring gardens again in the fall. And that's not really, it's really the fall garden. And often the cold crop plants that you plant early in the spring, and many of us don't get a chance to do that because we can't get into the garden, especially this year. You can do that now, and they will actually produce as well or even better than some will do in the spring.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because
so like my lettuces and that kind of stuff that fell a little flat this spring.
Right. It is time now. This is the first part of August, and that's time to start planting for your fall garden, late July into August. You want to get your plants in. If you're seeding some of this, it's a bit late for some seeds. Okay. However, you can still protect some of them by covering them later when the frosts come. But like the broccoli, we have broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, Swiss chard, kale, spinach, you know, the different kinds of things like the red cabbage, the collards, various cucumbers.
Now, I have a few in my garden that just pretty much stunted that I got from you this spring, my broccoli and my... Can I clip those off and let them regrow, or do I need to replant?
Sometimes that'll work, but technically I think once the plant bolts or actually goes to seed, you're pretty well finished with that plant.
Right.
And this year's weather, I'm sorry, it was a very tough year.
You don't need to apologize to me. I just report it.
Yeah. Well, it's really difficult to see our customers come in and say, you know, we really had a bad year. Guess what? I did too.
Right,
our garden did not do well. But we have a fall garden, and it's time to now get some of these plants in the fall garden. Tomatoes, the last of the tomatoes, again, if you're starting seed, it's a bit late for that, but some of the earlier varieties like Better Boy, some of the grape tomatoes, that type of thing, you're still okay to plant those. You may have to cover them. Remember, sometimes we get a light frost or a cold snap in August to the first part of September. That's okay. Cover them over that time. But I can tell you that most often, if you protect them over that first cold snap, you'll have as long as sometimes up to a month for plants and garden products to still produce before we actually get the killer frost.
That's great. Now, you were also talking, I have a couple of hostas in my garden.
Yes.
And love them. They're blooming right now. They're beautiful, but I need to start thinking about winter for them.
Right, and you're not too late to start working with your hostas. It's a bit early with the temperatures as hot as they've been. If you're not prepared to water them well and get those roots established, don't start digging the roots yet. But you can divide and separate your hostas. You can still plant flowers. You can plant your perennials. It's perfectly wonderful. Just keep them watered. When like rain last night was wonderful, but many people did not have enough to get down into the soil, enough to keep those newly planted plants watered. So you do protect that and fertilize as needed, but it's still wonderful. And through the month of September, it's awesome to plant and get your perennials established before winter sets in. And like zinnias, annuals like zinnias and various other plants, it is not too late, Tracy, for people to still be planting annuals to get quite a bit of time out of the color.
Right. So don't give up on your summer garden.
No. Just simply replace, repot, even spreading a few seeds of plants that are early growers. You do not want to plant something that's going to be ready in December. But
because it's cold then. Or at least that's what it's supposed to be like. The way the weather's been. Who knows if we can count on that. All right. Great tips, Arlene. And this is going to keep that color out there for us long into the fall. Thanks so much for being with us today. If you have any questions for Arlene, of course, you can always give her a call or go and stop by the greenhouse. Beautiful stuff out there. Thanks again. Stay with us. We'll be